Hello and welcome to all my beautiful, vibrant souls who are Libra suns or have significant, wow, all the words fell out of my brain. Significant placements in Libra. Sorry about that. Welcome to your, I'm just adjusting here. Welcome to your month ahead predictions for the month of September 2023. Quick little side note before we start getting into things. We do currently have Mercury retrograde in the sign of Virgo, and since this will be retrograde until the 14th, followed by a brief shadow period, this takes up enough of the month that I'm going to be incorporating that into the reading. So I will be pulling an oracle card to look at your major overarching energetic theme for the month, and then I will be pulling tarot cards to look at how this theme might be playing out just in your life in general, in your love life, and with retrograde specific themes. So with that, let's dive into it. So I'm trying to get my curls to sit where I want them to, but they're not gonna, they can't be tamed. I'm gonna just leave them alone. So I hope you guys had a really wonderful month. They're telling me to shuffle the deck real quick. I hope you guys had a really wonderful August. I hope it was full of a lot of excitement and blessings. I want to say a happy early birthday to my Libras who have their birthdays at the end of September. So yes, happy birthday, love bugs. But let's see. Yes. Okay, here we go. At the bottom, we have intuition showing up, master number of 22. So you guys could feel intuitively like a little blocked. I feel like you guys will be getting intuitive help. There's another card in this deck that looks almost the exact same that says patience, and that's card 2. And so something that you've had to be patient on, you're going to be getting a lot of intuitive guidance where you felt blocked before. So I do see that coming through a lot of, again, angels, ascended masters working with you. 2 is a number about balance, which, I know is Libra's thing, about balance, harmony, inner and outer harmony within all parts of self, also about partnerships and decision making. I feel a lot of you, this will be a time where you're getting a lot of insights, a lot of hits, like a lot of intuitive hits or hints, about decisions that you could be making or decisions that need to be made that will bring you, as 222, as I said that, that will bring you closer to alignment, right? Whether it's your outer world aligning with your internal frequency or, aligning your masculine and feminine energies, or just like, creating a life that is reflective of what you would like to be experiencing. So a lot of you, I feel like, are going to be getting a lot of assistance from your spiritual team to help you in that process this month. Yep, moderation. Boom. What were we talking about? Balance. That's so funny because I was just thinking about that. So we have 14. This reduces to a 5. The 5th of September might be important for you guys. Excuse me. But this also reminds me of the Temperance card, because the Temperance card in the tarot is 14 and also speaks about moderation. We have the red and the green here. And so it's super interesting because I was just talking about, an inner reality and an external reality. So as you can see in this deck, there are cards that the Merkaba is a different color than the background and ones where it's the same. So when it's the same, I take this to mean that your external reality is matching your internal frequency, right? What you are experiencing internally has, rippled outward, and your external reality is now reflecting that back, and they're in harmony. When they're different, this to me means that the energy is shifting, right? There's still not quite this alignment. So you might be changing internally first and still kind of feel like your external world is reflecting your old energy, your old frequency. And that's okay, right? That's a process that happens. With the number 5 showing up, this is about changes that need to be made. So it's really funny to me that this came out because I was specifically feeling for you guys with the retrograde in Virgo. Virgo rules the 6th house traditionally. So looking at where Virgo shows up in your chart, in particular, what house it shows up in, might give you an insight into what area of life you might be experiencing these changes. Working with the new moon energy is going to be particularly helpful for you guys, I feel. But Virgo, like I said, rules the 6th house, and this is all about a healthy mind, body, spirit connection, right? You have holistic health in all areas of life. If you're familiar with the story of the Wheel of the Zodiac, the 5th house, which is Leo's house, this is all about your unbridled passions and pursuing, your soul spark, your zest, your yes. And then the 6th house is kind of when we're like, okay, yes, that's great. but I need to be able to live a normal, like, everyday life. I got to be grounded. So you kind of take that passion of the fifth house, and you you then sort of start coming back down. You're like, okay, this is, this was great, but I got to focus a little bit on, my work, right? I got to catch up on doing this, right? I always say that too, like the fifth house is kind of like when you have just, it's a house that rules romance. It's kind of like the beginning of a relationship when you just can't get enough of each other. And the sixth house is when you're like, okay, this is still good. We still have passion here, but now I'm kind of getting back to regular life. I need to kind of like focus a little more on my work, or focus a little more on my health. The fifth house can also be that energy of like you're on vacation and you're just like, you're going hog wild, and you come home and you're like, okay, that was great, but now I'm going to be tending to all these other areas of life, coming back into balance. So for you guys, with that sort of being the energy here, I do feel like, 555 on the timer. I do feel like you guys are going to be this month getting insights on how to make major changes in order to bring yourself into balance. Now with the red and the green, the root and the heart chakra, this I feel like is something where you have a lot of emotional attachment to some habits or patterns, but there needs to be an air of stability. For some of you, you have patterns or habits in your life that are not quite stable for you, but you engage in them because either there's like a self-soothing component, or for a lot of you, I feel like because there is a fear of sacrificing important emotional connection. So let's say, you have a friend where you guys always go out and do happy hour, and you're kind of like, ooh, I want to take a break from drinking for a month, right? It's kind of like, I want to do that, but I want to also maintain this special ritual with my friend. Some of you might have something where you're trying to cut back on junk food, and it's like, most of the time that's an easy thing, but maybe like for some of you, when you get your period, you really want it. Or for some of you, like when you have like some emotional ups and downs, or if even somebody is having a hard time, maybe like you're the friend that always comes over with the ice cream and is like, okay, let's talk about it. There's an emotional component that's holding you back from reaching some element of stability and security that you're looking for here. For some of you, this might be that there are relationships in your life that you are very connected to, that you have a lot of love for, but sometimes the dynamic you have established with these people asks you to sacrifice your stability and the words they're giving me is self-control, which I feel like that sounds a little harsh, but that's what's coming through. Said only with love. We're all human. We're all trying to figure it out. I love this. Isn't this such a cute little mug? Oh my God. But, this is going to be a month where you're getting a lot of insights. It's just about how to make room for all parts of yourself, how to create moderation. So it's not saying like it's having to cut something out, but it's how to have it in healthy balance. Because I feel like whatever this is, you guys have gone back and forth and tried to negotiate. For some of you, you're getting rid of your cheat day. Something like that. It's kind of like you've tried to like strike a balance, and you've struggled up until this point. This is what is shifting and changing for you this month. So let's see how this is going to apply in your life in general. Yeah, Five of Swords. I feel like whatever this is has caused a lot of internal conflict, possibly a fear of external conflict. Ace of Pentacles. This is what's kept you from the stability you've been looking for. The Hierophant reversed. Okay, I want to look at, this card. The King of Pentacles. I'll keep it. The Four of Cups reversed. Again, there's something where you want to make a commitment to it. Making a commitment to whatever this path is for you. For some of you, this is a job, or this is trying to get a promotion. This is really like focusing, your entire energy on your career or some element of stability. Some of you have a goal where you excuse me, I'm sorry. I'm drawn to the castle in the background. You would like to save up enough for something, or you would like to have a home. And there's something where you have other habits that are detracting from your stability, causing you to waver in your commitment. What is this that you're seeking? Six of Cups. Okay, this is something you've been wanting since childhood. This is something that would make you very genuinely happy. This could potentially be a relationship. I'm not feeling that as much for this group. I'm going to be honest. Ten of Pentacles. Yeah, this is everything to do with security. And then the Knight of Pentacles reversed. Some of you may have had a very tumultuous upbringing. Two of Pentacles reversed, where there was a lot going on and things fell through the cracks, things got mismanaged. For some of you, this is just about creating a stable lifestyle for yourself. This goes back to, again, very tender, almost like childhood emotions. These even could reflect past life themes that you're working on. So if you have, I'm getting either Libra, of course, but Taurus is coming through as well. Taurus placements are your Venus placement in a past life placement in your chart. So 12th house, South Node, conjunct with your South Node, Saturn, 8th house, Chiron to an extent. I could go on, but those are some big ones. Excuse me. This goes all the way back to that, right? Where your soul is really asking you for some sense of stability. And so whatever this habit is, whatever these patterns are that have kept you from fully committing to the path of stability, I feel this has created internal chaos and conflict more than anything else with the Five of Swords. Again, some of you are afraid of jeopardizing an important relationship in your life. But with the Ten of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles, the King and Queen of Pentacles rule the empire that is the Ten of Pentacles. This is all about feeling stable and grounded and secure in yourself. Some of you would like to become parents, but it requires that you, maybe purchase a home first, or like that's a goal of yours. It doesn't require it, but like, you know what I mean? Or requires that you become more financially stable in yourself first. And I feel this is again, this goes back to potentially childhood. There's a pattern of instability. Study your Venus placement, because Venus not only rules love and relationships, but also rules money and business. And oftentimes when we have patterns in one area, they show up in the other area, either the exact same way or like the mirror opposite, the reflected opposite. If you guys want to know more about that, let me know and I'll make a separate video about it, because I do think it's very important. Venus retrograde that we recently had may have kind of stirred up a lot of things, but this is going to be a month where you're going to be getting a lot of insights into the steps you need to take. For some of you, this is something that's coming through. For some of you, one of your big issues is that you put the burden of perfectionism on yourself, right? I say this all the time, but when we put the pressure of the entire journey on each and every step, it's hard to even take the first step. And the reason why I say that is because the Ten of Pentacles starts off as the Ace of Pentacles, and it's a seedling. You have to water it, you have to care for it. It's the beginning of something that can grow into something very stable and long-term. And since the 10 is upright, but the Ace is reversed, there's a sense here where some of you have this like burden of, I can't commit to this unless I can be perfect at it. I can't commit to this unless, I have this, and this. And so there's pressure on yourself to do something perfectly. And there's kind of an energy of needing to either start where you're at or allow yourself to be imperfect. Allow yourself, some of you, there's a sense where you're beating yourself up for past mistakes. And you're like, I'll never be able to do this. I never, I didn't work in the past. Why would I be able to do it now? And so a lot of you guys are getting insights into how to start to, excuse me, I'm sorry, how to start to create more stability for yourself in an area that you felt thwarted for a very long time. That's nice. I love that for you guys. So in your love life, let's see how this is showing up. Some of you are going to be taking time apart from a partner. If you guys, especially with that 5th and 6th house example, perhaps this is a new relationship and you guys are grounding the partnership into something more stable. You're making room for, with the heart and the root chakra here, the love that, is growing between the two of you, between the two of you, and the everyday kind of life that needs to happen, right? This is where you might be starting to kind of get down to the nuts and bolts of the relationship and figuring out how to be in partnership with one another. King of Swords, yeah, there's a sense here of needing to detach emotionally a little bit, needing to think about something practically. 8 of Swords reversed. Okay. The High Priestess, this is exactly what we were talking about. And the 9 of Pentacles reversed. Okay, so this might be related to your other, kind of what's going on in your life in general. But what I'm seeing here, this is your intuition revealing your limitations, hands down. And this is why the King of Swords is at the bottom of the deck, because you're getting clear perspective, and clear perspective that you feel confident in, that allows you to feel like you can trust your own wisdom. Again, I feel like things are coming into alignment with you guys because your messages are very clear. Not all the groups were this concise. Excuse me. And, in terms of this playing out in your love life, for a lot of you, this is about any blockages that you've had toward partnerships, whether you have been overly, hyper independent, or you have struggled with your self-worth or been codependent on others. those limitations are going to be kind of making themselves known in your love life. So even if you don't have anybody coming in this month, you have important realizations that are setting you up for a healthier partnership. What is this Nine of Pentacles? Yes, the King of Cups reversed. And the King of Swords. A lot of you in the past have led with your heart, and there's a need to balance with the mind, right? I love Libra energy, but all zodiac signs have light and shadow, and the shadow attributes for Libra when it's unhealed is this energy of being overly self-sacrificial and people-pleasing in the attempt to keep the harmony, right? Keep the peace. So some of you are getting insights into where, again, you've sacrificed your own well-being, your own self-worth, your own boundaries, in order to maintain emotional and interpersonal harmony with others. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. And being more prone to make heart over head decisions. This is where you're getting clarity with the King of Swords. And some of you are getting, I like how he's got his little eyebrow raised, like, you want to try me? Some of you are getting, you might have major water placements as well, possibly earth. But some of you, you're getting the courage that you need, the clarity you need to have an honest conversation with somebody. If this is a conversation, what is it about? Three of Pentacles, about the partnership. A lot of you, like I said, are getting down to so for me, the Three of Cups and the Three of Pentacles can both be spiritual partnership cards. But one of the differences is that while the Three of Cups, is like kindred spirit and you just love and have great affection for each other, it can be very much about enjoying the moment and possibly overindulging, right? The Three of Pentacles is a spiritual partnership where you work well together. You are compatible. You have long-term goals and visions that are the same. Some of you, you're in a partnership and you're noticing maybe past patterns, and preparing to have a conversation with your partner about your relationship values and goals. Some of you, because this can be a baby card for me, as can the Ace of Pentacles, some of you are wanting to talk long term with your partner about, not necessarily kids, but it could be, do you want kids? Do you want a home? Excuse me. Excuse me, I'm sorry. But you guys are getting exceedingly clear on what you want and need and expect out of a partnership. And you're either having those conversations with somebody that you are already involved with in some way, shape, or form, or you are getting clear on that so you can attract that into your life. What was the other card? Six of Swords reversed, because you've had this is always an inner child healing card for me. You've had some things that need healing in order to kind of find your own sense of peace and stability. Some of you have had a really hard time moving on from these wounds that need to be healed, and they have affected your partnership. So you're getting a lot of clarity about that, and how that has affected partnerships, how that has affected the type of people that you tend to partner up with. Excuse me. And what you need and want and expect and deserve out of a partnership. So you either are having those conversations, you're having those epiphanies for sure this month. Many of you are either having those conversations with people who are currently in your life, or you're getting exceedingly clear on that so you can attract that into your life. I like that. That's very empowered. I was drawn to almost pick up the Oracle deck. I want to kind of pull a secondary card, almost a tertiary. Financial discipline is showing up, yeah. So there might be an element where you and a partner, and then individuality. You and a partner could have disagreements about financial matters, long-term goals, long-term plans. This is going to be a month where you guys talk about that. Again, you're balancing love with practicality and security. So some of you are preparing to talk about financial changes or material world changes that you and your partner need to make. No kiss. So I do see that here, right? And with individuality at the bottom, this is one where the colors are the same. So again, I feel like you're getting clear on yourself, on where you're at, and that's allowing you the courage, the clarity, the opportunity to be able to have this really important conversation with somebody in your life. Now, how this will be playing out for you, retrograde specific, 10 of Cups. Okay. The Devil. Are you guys okay? Capricorn energy showing up here. Get over here. I can see what card it is. Get out of my deck. The Nine of Wands reversed. And the 10 of Wands. I feel like we have two 10s here. 10s are always completion of a cycle, and then also indicate new beginnings because they reduce to a 1. I feel like many of you there's something that you've been holding on to for so long, again, either because there's the promise of happiness, or it's like your perceived way to happiness, or there's something where there is your happiness. Sorry if you can hear my stomach grumble. There is your happiness wrapped up in it, but there is toxicity. There is something unhealthy, right? This is karmic patterns, karmic partners. Excuse me. This could be from your past, from your childhood, from your family. And there's, again, this desire for this is, the happy ending, right? This is your heart is full and you have your loved ones to share it with. This is the goal. This is the desire. And I think a lot of you have put up with behavior that doesn't honor you and accept you. I was gonna say respect you, accept you for your authentic self. Some of you it's like you'll be willing to put up with this and to go through this to get to this. And the thing is, I feel like it never gets to this. And so some of you are having a lot of clarity and epiphanies. You're letting go of something. What is this devil energy? Because with the 10 of Wands as well, it's become too much of a burden to carry. What is this devil energy? No, not that. Okay. What is this devil energy? It will be different for everybody, but just generally speaking, I want to get a hint. The Fool. Feeling like you can't move on. Some of you might kind of fall prey to the sunken cost fallacy, like, oh, I've already invested so much, and like, we've gone so far, we've been together for X amount of time, but it's not a good relationship, and it's kind of like you're hoping it will turn out good. You're holding on to hope. Some of you, I'm getting, tend to be attracted to people in situations where you pour your heart into it and it's already out the door, right? Like if this is a relationship, this is somebody who's always got one foot in, one foot out. There's like this attraction to instability because that's what's comfortable. It's what you know. Yeah, 3 of Cups and the 5 of Pentacles. Exactly. Interesting, we have the 3 of Pentacles here, and we were just talking about this. People who are soul tribe to you, right? People who, the devil is karmic energy. These are people you have soul contracts with. And not just people, but these are circumstances you're drawn to because that's where the lessons and the growth has been. I think that you've been drawn to situations that will make you feel better in the moment, or where there's a lot of joy and a lot of happiness, but there's no longevity. That's what's really the difference. Something, again, we're talking about with the 3 of Pentacles is this feeling that you have shared values, shared goals. The 3 and the 5 of Pentacles are the only cards in the traditional deck, not in this one, that show a religious background, and we kind of see it here, right? In the traditional 3 of Pentacles, 3 people inside the church, and they're building the steeple, they're working together. In the 5 of Pentacles, these 2 people, usually they're battered, they're in tattered clothes, they're injured, broken legs, they're out in the snow. It's just no fun, right? And where this is like you and another person or an energy, an entity, you're brought together, you're aligned, and it feels like it's almost blessed by spirit, like spirit brought you together. So it's a blessing in and of itself. And then it's also like, working toward your purpose, toward your path. The 5 of Pentacles is, you're feeling abandoned, left out in the cold, like you don't have enough, like it's just barely helping you squeak by. You're surviving, but that's it. And it's almost like the universe has abandoned you, right? And that's the thing that's holding, it always shows 2 people. So that's the thing that's holding you guys together, is the fact that you both feel abandoned. This is survival mode. This is thriving in creation. And I feel a lot of you have been drawn into people and habits that help you forget that you've just been surviving, essentially. These are people who, they'll stick it out with you when you're out in the cold. And I think that has been your definition of love in the past. But these are not the people who, everybody grows at a different pace. And so when we finally have healed enough that we can leave survival mode and start working toward creation, that's a different mindset entirely. That's a whole other topic for a whole other time. If you guys want a video on that, let me know. But there's a sense here where I feel like what you guys are leaving behind is you're leaving behind fighting for people who, these are the people who might show up for you when your back's against the wall, when the chips are down, but who don't encourage you to be your best self, who in fact might try to hold you back from being your best self. These would be, again, with moderation, 3 of Cups, these could be like your drinking buddies, but if you decide you want to take a break from alcohol, you want to quit entirely, they're all of a sudden nowhere to be found, right? And I'm not criticizing people who are in that space, but I think you are in a different place, and you're that means as you start to come into greater alignment, with, who you really are, what you really want. Again, where'd it go? I can't pick it up. Hang on. I don't know, I like to gesture with the cards. This is your internal energy. So while what's surrounding you might be people and things and opportunities and patterns that make you feel good, that like speak to your heart, there's no stability in it, and there needs to be a balance between the two. And you are moving into a place of stability within yourself. And a lot of you, this is going to be a month where you're getting a lot of insights about who and what is for the long term and what is on its way out. And so a lot of you are going to be finally like kind of throwing in the towel, letting go of habits, people, situations, circumstances that keep you in survival mode and aren't able or willing to kind of grow with you into this thriving creation mode, because you are changing and it's okay to let your reality change along with you, okay? So I think that's all I have for you guys today. I hope this has been helpful. Thank you so much for being here. I'm wishing you a safe, happy, healthy month. Feel free to let me know in the comments how this resonates either now or at the end of the month or whenever you want. So yeah, thanks for being here. It's been an honor and a joy. I'll see you guys soon.